But that set back the special relationship between the British and the African Americans.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah, at the moment, like it's like some civil war, bruv.
Is that a good place to start? Should we have that chat?
Yeah, go on.
Yeah. I know, obviously, I know Sosa's not on Clubhouse like that. Chris, you're still not on Clubhouse, are you?
I'm not like, when I saw it happening, I was like, it's a bunch of people like chatting shit, a bunch of Americans chatting shit, like, and I started slowly coming off Clubhouse anyway, so it was just like complaining again, and then it turned into like the whole movie thing, Black Brits stealing all our roles in Hollywood, and I'm like, not really. There's like 3 actors. Chill out.
But you know the mad thing though is, if I've got a friend, if I pull it up here, there's bare of us over the phone. I never knew. But there's bare of us.
Oh yeah. That Fred,
bare of us.
Cool. But they're still the main guys over there.
Okay,
you know what I mean? They're still the main guys. Like, you know, what's the biggest movie of this like crazy year? Like Tenet, fronted by a black African American dog. Yeah. Yes, he's Denzel's son, but still, you're not gonna get the Christopher Nolan gig like that easy, innit?
Yeah.
Like a lot of them are still, you know, Damson's killing it over there. Daniel Kaluuya, John Boyega, Letitia Wright. These lot are, you know, the new wave. They're starting to, you know, make their mark. But there's been others. I remember Spike Lee and Samuel L. Jackson voicing their opinions
ages ago. Yeah, I remember.
That's where the noise started from.
Yeah. So I was like, all right, cool. So from when them man are starting to speak about it, you're gonna start seeing it go down into like common conversations amongst these black African Americans that are, you know, and this whole Fred Hampton thing now is out.
Yeah,
there's issues, and Lakeith Stanfield never got the role, so it was like.
But was he even up for it? The way he was talking, I don't think he was actually up for it. I think in his head he thought he could get it, but he wasn't actually up for it.
He wasn't doing the work. He was busy moaning on Clubhouse.
Yeah, he was playing both sides. He was like going into one room. He was going into one room and be like, so we go into the American room. Well, both of those 2 American rooms, but the one with like the Black Brits shouldn't play roles.
The whole ADOS community.
You'll go into that room and be like, yeah, I understand, and this is a good conversation, etc., beyond them, and then go into the other room and be like, yeah, like the conversation was just going a different way that I didn't want it to go, and he was playing both sides, and it was mad. And do you know what? I haven't been in Clubhouse since that day, because I had to look back and I say, yo, this app is really killing my people, because if you look at this from a bird's eye view, it's mad. It's mad that we're doing this on our phone. We're on our phones talking to people that are literal psychopaths, and we're trying to get through to psychopaths. Yeah, and telling them.
So who's really crazy? Is it them or us?
Is it me? Yeah, fam.
Yeah.
These guys are psychopaths. Like, why are we on here trying to explain ourselves to psychopaths? It makes no sense. Like, it's crazy.
I couldn't see the angle why we had to kind of explain or educate them, because a lot of them, they don't know what they're talking about when it comes to us. Do you know what I'm saying?
I mean, that's what the problem lies. I do feel like we should, but if for me to engage with you, you have to be willing to listen and understand.
None of them are.
But none of them are willing.
That's the massive problem.
None of them are willing. So it's like it turns into a back and forth and just a bunch of noise.
Yeah.
It's 100% a bunch of noise. Like I was listening to, can't remember. I think it might have been something on Joe Rogan. I think it was the owner of Whole Foods or somebody else. Anyway, talking about social media and just echo chambers. Yeah, and literally, it's like, if all you do is follow the same people and all you do is talk about the same things and you all agree with each other or whatever, regardless of whatever you guys agree on, is crazy. So, for example, on Facebook, when they say 5G causes corona, there's people that actually believe that. Yeah. So because you've got a group of 100 people, they've all banded together. That's that echo chamber, and 100 people believe 5G causes corona. If I come and say it doesn't, I've got 100 people that told me it does.
They're gonna flog you.
They're gonna flog you. How can you tell me 5G don't cause corona? That's what they're thinking in their head, and that's literally what social media is. Social media helps you find your community and helps you stay on there for as long as you can, and just basically fucks your time off, wastes your time.
I mean, there's not much more to be said after that.
Yeah.
But you know what it is, I'm in agreement with what you said, and I think we're all on the same page in regards to like them not, at least feeling like they're not willing to listen and understand. They're already entrenched in their viewpoint. So you're talking to people who don't want to hear you out, who already look at us a certain way. But I'm gonna be honest, I can understand to a certain degree where they're coming from. Like, these are like iconic seminal roles, isn't it?
Yeah.
For like the black African American experience. Like Fred Hampton, I can understand why someone would be upset that someone that's not from there playing it. If someone's playing Fella and they weren't from Nigeria, listen. I always go with the best person for the job, but I would understand and I'll feel it way. But like, especially the starting point we have where we don't have a lot. So that's maybe my extra context and caveat. We don't have a lot. So I don't know if there's been a Fella movie before, but if you're gonna do one,
it depends.
It has to be for me. Be someone from Nigeria, especially in the space we're in now.
I suppose, and the danger of acting is a level playing field with equal opportunities.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, they're not gonna. When you go into the role of acting and you step into these audition rooms, they're not gonna really ask you where you're from. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're gonna see how you can perform in the audition room. That's why you've got these casting directors. You know, in history, you've seen people from different places of the world playing other people,
doing a shit job though at the same time. Will Smith's accent was shit.
His acting weren't shit. It was the accent.
I said
the accent that was shit.
The accent was shit.
Saying? So,
I will say Forrest Whitaker.
And you're gonna get it right, and you may not get it right. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's one of them things. It's like, and you gotta think about the business side. The producer of these movies, they're gonna think about, can we get the biggest name? What are we gonna do in the box office?
Has
a lot of these things
shown that they can bring in money when they're in film? So like a Daniel Kaluuya's brought in money, Queen and Slim brought in money, Get Out. So
like, even what they were saying on the chat, so 2 points is like, one, they were saying, the Brits will come in and do it for less. Are you telling me that Latif is getting paid more than Daniel Kaluuya? No, that's not happening. And then the second thing is, what they did is, it's fine, like, all right, Fred Hampton should be an African American, fine, agree with that, whatever. There was another room basically saying that the title of the previous room is basically putting people off watching the movie, but the movie's so important. Let's forget about what your grievances are. Let's just watch the movie because people need to be educated on Fred Hampton. But what these ADOS people did is they used that to wrap their political agenda. Yeah. So they had an agenda to push, and this is just the way how they could do it.
It's their vehicle.
It's just their vehicle to kind of push whatever they wanted to push, which is they deserve reparations. They built the country, more work for African Americans, not second generation Americans or African American, not second generation Americans
from immigrants.
Immigrants or whatever. They want the guys that's been there for 400 years or their family's been there for 400 years.
But no one in that group has been there for 400 years.
That's why I said,
never to disrespect.
That's what I said, let me on stage.
Never.
And you got to think about like who it's targeted towards. Do you know what I mean? Like, because there's going to be a section of black people that if someone was going to play a role of someone that's not from where they're from, it's not going to matter to a large group of people. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's going to matter to people that are from that place and are invested in that movie. Because there's going to be people like, let's say if someone not from Nigeria was to play Fella, there's going to be people in Nigeria that's not invested in the movie, so they're not really going to give a toss. Do you know what I'm saying?
Fair,
So it's only for those that are jumping on a bandwagon or either actually invested and care about, you know, casting the right person for the role. Because there could be a Donny that has the right accent, but can you act?
That's true. That's very true.
There's going to be people that look like the person that they're depicting, but can they act? We saw All Eyes on Me. Donny looked like Tupac, bruv. But the movie was
work.
He couldn't really act. And I'm like, there's variables in this acting thing, man. Like, if you really deep it, you know, so...
At the core of it, I do hear where they're coming from, but I'm also on my UK shit where, like, if you're not even trying to give us empathy or listen to us, why should I concede, like, and be an adult in the conversation where I do get it? At the core of it, I do understand some of the stuff they're talking about, but that's more for the ADOS stuff. So, like, it's American descendants of slavery. They're looking at themselves as, like, the people that are directly from here. They want to be at the front of the queue when it comes to reparations. So they have to, like, brand themselves so that if they ever do get reparations, they're the first, whether that's money directly or a state, the same way like how Israel has a state. I think
that's
what
they're shouting at us over it though,
because they need something, like what Sebby said, a vehicle. They need something to push their agenda, to be like, because at the end of the day, this is the sad thing about it. What's going to get more noise for them? Is it their shout at the white man or the inter-community shout to people that look similar to us? And that's what I didn't like, was that whole, like, it started feeling like xenophobia, like where it's like you're kicking us, like the same, not on the same level, but it felt to me like the seed of what some stuff's happened in South Africa with, like, Nigerians going over there, getting jobs, and then because we don't have, we look to you as a problem. when really truthfully, I'm your brother, I'm your sister. I know we're not a monolith, blah blah blah, but it should be the higher ups you have an issue with, because we all have the same fight. That we don't have.
You don't see it that way.
We don't have. At the crux we do. We don't have opportunities over here. That's where we're going there. You don't have opportunities either. You've not had opportunities historically. I think that's what I mean in regards to the same fight. There's a reason. One, Hollywood is the pinnacle.
No, I get where you're coming from.
That's
I'm
the pinnacle.
They won't see it that way.
Okay, cool. They won't see it that way. One, Hollywood's the pinnacle. Two, if you're black and you're not, bruv, how many times can man do EastEnders and be in a bill? It's long, bruv. Like, man, what, a young Hollyoaks and that.
Yeah,
Bruv, Max Brannon just finished his role, bro. You don't. Some people don't want to do that 15 years, bro.
It's long.
He did a bid.
It's long,
bruv.
and
but they get paid well for them.
Even that Yvette, the co-founder, she like eventually, so her tone kind of changed, and she was like, you know what, like we need to get together. So what we need to get together, like she basically said that black people need to get with a program, and the program is they get reparations first, and then they bring us in. Yeah, that's basically what she said. And I'm like, bro, if you can't behave now and you're broke, how are you gonna behave when you get this £1 billion?
They're gonna be telling us we're pushers whilst wearing Protects.
That's what
finished, bro.
That's what she would basically said, yeah. And I said to her also, that's what I wanted to speak is why I wanted to speak on that stage, yeah, was one, to mention the thing of them not like her, she didn't experience whatever, but my thing was as well is the original sin. You think, yeah, just your ancestors were taken to America, it's fine, whatever. But what about Africa? What about the stuff they did to Africa? What about, the stuff they took from Africa? What about the leaders they put in place? What about what's currently going on?
The reason why we're all here.
What about the reason we're all here? If anybody deserves reparations, it's them first. You can come second. But that's what they're trying to say is we're first. Nope. I think Africa should get reparations first, and then everybody else get patterned up.
What does reparations look like to you? Like, I know stuff.
Give me peace.
Peace.
Give me peace. I don't need nothing else but peace, so I can buy drip.
This is why you don't give certain niggas money, bro.
Give me peace, bro. Buy that Mary jeans. These rappers be talking about Mary and that.
We'll give Sebby 100 million, yeah, 100 billion for the defense budget. Before you come, a man's got to bust down Las Olas bottles and that.
AP Protects and Mary Dior Creps. What all these guys wear.
Brandon is killing my people. Drip is killing my people.
Yeah, bro. Bro, we'll close down the business. I don't need to sell rum anymore. I've got the defense budget.
Yeah.
What the peas, bro?
Yeah.
I've got the peas. I've got everything that I ever wanted. What I was fighting for. The fuck? Everything's getting locked off, bro. Feet up.
Yeah. Reparations has to be peas and estate, land. That's what, yeah. Because you can give man the peas, but if man ain't got nowhere to reside, that's safe for us also. I think that's the biggest issue, innit?
And create a resilient infrastructure.
Yeah. But more than anything, what that thing showed me is that we don't, even though I know I said that it might invalidate what I said, we don't actually technically all have the same struggle. We're not a monolith. I think there's one unique thing that we all have is that you can be a black person from any part of the world. If you go to a different country, you get treated like an other. That's our similar thing. Now, varying degrees, different contexts, etc. But you will always get treated like another. That's the one thing we'll have. But like,
pull up in a Rolls Royce, I might not get me treated. Yes, sir. No, sir.
Yeah. Can I open your door, sir? The Coming to America vibe. But yeah, man, I want to say, I'm looking forward to the Fred Hampton film. I've heard through the grapevine that Daniel Kaluuya, like, he absolutely bodies his role.
Yeah,
I heard he smashed it still.
Well, there you go, man.
Yeah, so
shut up, innit?
Yeah. I heard he bodied his role in it. So
chat to him properly, man.
And the Fred Hampton Jr., who was in the belly of Fred Hampton whilst he was dying, in the mum's belly whilst he was dying in another room and that, they okayed it. So it's one of them things like, if the family okay it, I don't even see.
Yeah, they co-signed it. The next of kin.
Yeah. Simple. And maybe deep down they may share some of the same sentiments, but sometimes you've got to give a little, like, you got to work. So it's like, cool. We want the best person and the biggest face, so that this story is magnified. Because we all know the story, but I feel like, you see how we know a lot about Martin Luther King and Malcolm X. For whatever reason, we don't, like, mainstream wise, you don't know a lot about Fred Hampton. Because when you really check it, they murdered that man.
Yeah.
Like, and they didn't even try and do it with how they did with a Malcolm X or Martin Luther King, make it seem like it was someone else. Bro, they went in there all guns blazing because these people posed a real threat. People were they were bearing arms to, like, the House of Assembly or the Senate. Like, they walked there in there with guns drawn. They weren't pointing on, but they were exercising their rights. And that's a scary thing for America at the time. Black people who know their rights, who who are politically motivated, and they're also galvanizing poor brown white people to be part of this fight, and they killed the man. That's what it was execution style, killed him. So I'm looking forward to the film.
So, the wife knows, man. Like if I don't know if she's still alive.
I'm not sure. I don't know
his wife at the time, but or his son knows, innit? Like, and he may have seen something in my man and was like, yeah, perfect. He gives a fuck where you're from, bruv. You're playing. You're killing this shit, bruv.
Yeah.
You might be at the audition, like, you know, to give that seal of approval. Like, oh yeah, I think you're the right person to play. Like, you remind me so much of him when you're, do you know what I mean? From what he may have seen, innit?
Yeah.
Also, like, Latif needs to step his game up, bro. Do you know what I mean? Like, all right.
He's like Lakeith.
Yeah, like,
step your game up, man. Man's on Clubhouse, like, moaning for $300.
I told you,
Do better, bro.
This is Grease Sebby we got today. This is Grease Sebby.
Like, step your game up, because you got to think about it, like, as well. Like, Daniel, he's again, like,
he's a bigger man for you still
simple,
in the acting thing.
Simple. He's a big man for you, bro. Loud.
He landed more big roles, and the big movie that they were both in, Daniel was lead. Get Out.
Simple.
And we only know
Lakeith was only there for his bleeding nose.
You know, yeah.
Lakeith's a meme.
Go.
Yeah,
like, yeah, that's
movie.
it.
And the worst thing about it, I don't want to be bad, man. Lakeith's a decent actor as well.
He is.
He's
He
a
is.
good actor.
I watch him in Atlanta.
Yeah.
He's in Atlanta.
He was good in that.
He was in a thingy with Adam Sandler last year that he was at, like around Christmas time, was at the start of this year.
I don't know.
What's the heist film? Is like he's a jeweler.
Oh, is it the Jewish film?
The guy, yeah. I forgot what the film was called. But Adam Sandler's
That's him in another film.
Adam Sandler's the main character, the lead actor in that.
Yeah,
and it was a Netflix film.
Yes,
he's in one like random type niche type movie, underground kind of movie.
Yeah.
And he's leading that, where he plays like a salesman, like telesales kind of thing. Yeah, so basically, someone was like, you know, if you want to make money, you got to switch up the voice, and then he aced it, and then he like made it up to like the top of the building where it just started getting weird.
Okay.
And yeah, that's the one. Sorry to bother you, the weird movie, but yeah, he was leading that, but that's not like a big thing in it. Like they'll only show it in certain cinemas.
I saw Daniel Kaluuya in fucking Marvel and that.
Yeah.
Bro, man was in the Marvel thing.
Yeah, man.
He's done
Black Panther.
Black Panther, bro. Allow it, man.
Yeah.